Hey y'all, welcome back to the studio. Today is a very exciting day. We are going to apply some surface decoration to this planter that we just hand built with our 6.5 by 6-inch jig. This is our tapered jig C. We were able to make this beautiful form. And today I'm going to show you how you can elevate the design. So we've already used our stencil, our repeating leaf stencil. This is the largest size that we offer for that. And we pony rolled it into our slab to give us this beautiful leaf design. So today I'm going to show you how you can take underglaze and we are going to sponge it on. And we are going to do some sgraffito with our stencils. So I've got a piece of upholstery foam underneath to support my work. I've got the original stencil that I used to roll in my pattern. And now I'm going to we'll start with this little guy up here. I'm just going to line up the stencil so I can tell that little guy goes up there. And I am just going to line that up. Now the stencil, oops, we got some dry clay popping off. The stencil will not lay completely flat, because our form is round and it's not wet like it was yesterday. So what we're gonna do is do our best to keep it as flat as possible. And we are going to use our Amico Jet Black underglaze here. I've poured a little bit, and this is one of the first pots I made on the wheel, by the way. I love this little thing. Always keep your original work. See how far you've come. So I've got some underglaze in there, and then I have got some stenciling applicators. So instead of using a brush today, I am going to use this, and I am going to sponge my underglaze on. With a Sgrafitto tool. So I'm going to pull this up, and there we have that beautiful leaf. I am not concerned with the squidginess around the edges. Check out my technical terms. I'm not concerned with those little bits that have gone in there. With my Sgrafitto tool, I will be able to come in and just clean that up and make that nice and crisp. But there we go. A beautiful underglazed leaf. Here we have our other side. Remember, this is the first one that we did. So I'm going to go through, I'm just going to turn this so I don't smear what I just did. And I'm going to show you how to clean up these lines in here. Okay. So I have a couple tools, a couple options. Okay, I've got my little diamond core arsenal of Sgrafitto tools that I like to use. So we have the, let's see here, L1 and L3, and these both have a football Sgrafitto tools on both ends. This is a really thin Sgrafitto tool, and then I have my favorite, my V-tip. And then over here, I have another diamond core tip that this is really great for straight lines. And then I've got my U-tip that I use a lot for my vine work. So I'm gonna come in here with the big side of my L3 tool, this big diamond side. And I'm gonna start using this to just clean up those lines that I muddied a little bit, okay? And we are on leather hard, making sure I'm not ruining my other side here. We're on leather hard clay. Because I use the stencil, I'm able to see this outline really well. And I'm able to come through and just clean this up really nicely. And then I will come through with a brush and get all of my schnibbies when I'm done. So you can see how easy it is just to follow your existing lines. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to show you how we can put in some really beautiful designs here. So I'm going to use my L1 tool next, and there's this tiny little Sgrafitto ball on the end. Can you see that little guy? And this guy, I'm just going to come through and I'm going to do some more vein decoration here. And I'm just pulling up right through my underglaze. Now I'm doing this upside down. I wouldn't normally do this upside down, but I'm trying to preserve that other side for the camera. So I would normally just come and follow the veins of that leaf. And I love that. So I'm gonna brush that away. And when this is a little drier, I will come through and I will get all of those details. But as you can see, it is just the easiest way. If you're not good at freehand, which I am not, this is a really great way to add some Sgrafitto design. and to add some detail to your pot here with underglaze, and you can just carve right through. And because we use the stencil, you have a really nice jumping off point. So I am not having to freehand any of this. I'm just adding embellishment and decoration to that. So this side is almost dry over here. I'm just going to clean up my edges. The other thing you can do, which is one of my favorite ways to use the stencil, is just use your V-tip or whatever your favorite tool is to just come in here and lift up your lines. Okay, so I'm going to show you this tool here, and this is meant for really straight lines. So I'm going to come and follow the vein of my leaf and come through, add in those little details. I love that. Anytime you're dealing with botanicals, you can get away with really organic lines, so I like that. And then you can add in any details you want.
Have fun at this step. Use a different tool for each leaf and see what kind of result you get. Next, I'm going to show you a different way to apply the underglaze with a brush, and then we'll carve into the leaves that we've already painted over.
Okay, so our underglaze is all the way dry here. So now we are just going to work our way over. I'm going to start with this little guy up here and just show you a few different ways that you can get this outline. So here I have a loop tool. I'm just going to dig and drag. And my goal here, I don't want to eat too far into the rim. Just want to go ahead and establish a perimeter there. And then I'm going to do 1 and 2. Okay, now I don't want to go into my rim too much with that one, so I'm going to let that one be there. And I'm just giving you some different options of what you can do with different kind of carving tools here. We'll go back to my V-tip, my diamond core V-tip. Again, I'm not going all the way up to the rim. I don't want to create a cracking issue. So I'm going to come here, and you can see it doesn't really matter how crisp your outside line is if you plan on coming in here to carve into that. Whoops. So come through, and then again, I'm going to come just below the rim, and I'm going to follow my stencil marks here, which is very handy. Following my stencil marks. It doesn't even have to be exact, but you can see how lovely that is. And then if I want to add extra embellishment here, I can do that. You can do whatever you want at this point. The big one we are keeping, I decided that I wanted to keep that nice and filled in. So we're going to go down to this little guy down here. And I'm going to, let's see here, continue on with my V-tip. Sorry, you can hear my dog barking. The background. I'm going to continue on with my V-tip, get that perimeter. I want to get all that underglaze scooped up. So I'm just going to take a second pass at that. Going to come in here, follow my leaf pattern from my stencil. Super easy because I already have the outline there for me. All right, so I think at this point, I'm going to use my little spade portion of this guy, and I will carve in a few lines going up. Just trying to show you a variety of tools, just in case you don't have the same tools I'm using. I just want you to see that you could use a variety of tools, whatever you have in studio, and just to see what kind of effect you'll get. I'm going to come through with my football tip, my diamond core Sgrafitto, and I'm going to just start smoothing away at this guy here. And I'm going to take this middle part going straight up and just carving away until I feel good about that guy. I like that. I'm going to follow the same method down here. I'm just flipping this tool onto its side. And this leaves a lot of really lovely lines behind for us. Now you can see with this football end, it is a little more does take a few more passes, but I do like the effect it's giving us. Changing the angle will give you a difference in crispness in the lines there. There we go. And that gives us a little bit more of a wider pass. You can come in and just carve away at that. However you want to do it. Especially if you start getting deep into corners. You might have to try a few different tools for that job. All right, so that one's nice down there, nice and deep. Back in with my football tool. I'm going to make sure my hand is nice and dry. Kind of like the edge of this one. Like what that does. Follow my leaf down. Just following the impression my stencil made there makes it really easy to stay with your design that way. Okay, so we've got our outline. Then I'm going to come in the middle here, and I think I'm going to switch to my V-tip again. And then I am going to come up the middle and just follow this line through. And I'm just connecting my carving points there. Really very easy. And then I'm going to come through. I'm going to follow my curves. I always find it easier to carve away from my body, but I don't like flipping the pot around too much. So I just kind of let the design take the shape that it's going to take. Okay, really lovely. I like that one a lot. It's nice. Okay, just a couple more to go. I'm going to keep with my V-tip here. 1 and 2. Do my main line and then my veins. You can see sometimes I'm right on the line. Sometimes I miss the mark a little bit. It's really not a big deal. Try not to fuss too much with that. Come through with my football end here. Do my finishing work. All right, and then now we have this big one here. I think what I'll do is, since I feel like I have the most control with the big football edge, I'm going to continue with that. And keep scraping away at that edge. Really long lean strokes coming up that side here. All right, then I will come in with my V-tip and carve out the veins of this one, this big leaf here. I'm going to take it a little bit deeper because that line is a little bit thicker. Lovely. And then this one, put in some really quick, sharp strokes. There we go. Love that. Very nice. Okay, so we have all of our stenciled leaf patterns have been carved through. But that's how we can go through and sgraffito with underglaze on a pot that we build with our 6.5-inch jig. Thanks for stopping by, guys.